Hello, welcome in. I'm Laura.
And I'm Tom.
And I have read The House in the Cerulean Sea.
And I have not.
Except I haven't read all of it. I've only read 6 chapters at this point. So I'm going to tell Tom what those 6 chapters were about, and then we're going to discuss a little bit. And eventually we'll finish the book together.
Yeah.
Me telling Tom the book.
Yeah, it'll be great. I don't even have to read.
Why read a book when I could tell you about the book?
That's right.
All right, so The House in the Cerulean Sea, what I knew about this book going in, I think I heard that it was cozy fantasy.
Okay.
And I forgot mostly everything else about it.
Like, what kind of cozy fantasy? Are we talking medieval cozy fantasy?
Like, I didn't know anything going in. It was just on my list, and I was like, okay.
All right.
All right. We start chapter 1. We have our main character. His name is Linus. He is a magical CPS caseworker.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
he does like wellness visits to magical children.
Oh, okay. That's kind of an interesting premise.
Yes. So we first see him in chapter 1 going to check in at a magical orphanage where a kid was injured by another kid that can levitate things. So he determines through questioning the children and all the witnesses and everything that the one kid who can levitate things was angry at the other kid, so she threw a chair at him, and he broke his tail.
He has a tail?
Yeah.
So are we just going to gloss over the fact that this other kid is a different species than human?
Yes.
What species is he?
I don't know. This was kind of vague. It seems like all of the magical children that Linus works with are, like, very different.
Okay, so there's more races than just human in this world.
Yes, absolutely. And they're all kind of, I suppose, classified as magical children. So there's human and not human. Human and magic. We love starting with some speciesism.
Yeah, so then this orphanage has all magical kids?
Yes, so it's like a magical kid orphanage. We will get into this, but it seems like all magical children are in these orphanages.
Oh.
Why are they all there? Where are their parents? Mom, dad, hello?
Yeah, where are their parents?
I'm, like, kind of concerned that this is, like, some sort of government thing where if you're a magical child, you're not allowed to raise them and they have to go to a group home so that the government can raise them.
Yeah, maybe. Though I would never ask the kids where their parents are. I feel like that would be insensitive, you know?
Well, yeah, this might just be a world-building thing we don't know yet.
Yeah.
All right, so Linus, a bit of history on him. He is 40 years old, and he is slightly overweight, and he tries to diet because he is overweight. That's just, like, the vibes that the book gives. They, like, mention this very frequently.
Okay, is he magical?
No.
Oh, good.
Yes, he works for the magical CPS office. It's called something else. It's called, like, the Department for Magical Youth. Something like that. It's Magic CPS.
Oh, so they really sugarcoat it then.
Yes. And also, we see that Linus, he does seem to actually care about these kids, right? He thinks he's doing good work, right? He cares that the kids are in good orphanages, and if he needs to, he'll recommend that an orphanage be shut down because if the director of the orphanage isn't treating the kids well, right? So he prides himself on being, like, very honest in his work and, you know, trying to do what's best for the kids. Honestly, he's a little naive and a little oblivious to how the world works and what happens to the kids after he leaves.
Okay, so then how would you say that happens after he goes to this orphanage with the telekinetic kid? What happens then?
Well, I think that was an okay case. He determined it was just an accident. The kids aren't dangerous to themselves or each other. It was just kids being kids, and kids get hurt through accidents. So I think in that case, it does turn out to be all right. But I am concerned, and I hope it comes up later in the book, because I haven't finished the book, right? I've only read 6 chapters. And they are longer chapters, but I haven't finished the book yet. All right, so we go back to the office, and we can immediately tell that Linus has anxiety with a capital A.
Oh, really?
Yes. The boss comes over to him, and he hears that his boss is coming over to him, or he sees her or something, and he goes on like a 2-minute tangent about all the bad things it could be that all end with him being fired and homeless and dead.
Oh, so like 2 minutes of reading?
No, I listened to this book.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, a full 2 minutes of reading.
Yeah. So, poor Linus, he has anxiety. Also, this office is very corporate. It's almost a satire of corporate America, I assume, or corporate anywhere, where he has these cubicles and all of their cubicles are labeled like A through Z, and then within the row 1 through 20 or whatever. I think his was like L14 or something, I don't remember. Either way, it's supremely corporate, almost an exaggeration, right? They have a demerit system, they have to be super clean cut. One of the things Linus has anxiety about is that he has a stain on his shirt from eating a salad and he drips some dressing down his shirt.
Is that something he can get, like, points for?
Yeah, he got a demerit off for that, yeah.
You're kidding.
Yeah, and if you, like, get 5 demerits off per week, you get, like, punished in some way. I don't remember. It's like extreme corporate America, right? So after he
fired day one. I can barely keep my shirt clean when I eat.
Yeah, well, so after he goes on this 2-minute tangent about his anxiety, the boss comes over and she's like, well, what have you done? And he's like, I don't know. And she's like, well, extremely upper management wants to speak with you. You have an appointment tomorrow at 9 a.m. with them.
Excuse me, extremely upper management?
That's right. That is what they are referred to as.
Extremely upper management.
That's right.
Not just your boss or your boss's boss.
No, this is extremely upper management.
Huh.
Like I said, we got some satire of the corporate world here.
That's gotta be pretty bad. Poor Linus is probably, like, quaking in his boots.
He definitely is, because he's also very worried. Meanwhile, his boss is like, what, did you complain about me? Did you say something bad about me? And he's like, no, ma'am, absolutely not. She's like, am I a good boss? And he's like, no. Yes, ma'am.
What a bitch. I hate bosses like that. Not that I've had any.
So he gets home, and he has a nosy neighbor who, like, says hi. And honestly, she's hilarious. For example, one of her interactions is, Linus, are you depressed? No. Well, why ever not?
I mean, that's a fair question. Like, the world's pretty depressing.
Yes. Also, within this world, with the extreme satire of corporations, it always seems to be raining.
Oh, yeah. See, that's even worse.
Yeah.
Of course everyone would be depressed. It's like living in England.
Mm-hmm. The nosy neighbor also comes off as a little bit homophobic, as the story introduces us to the fact that Linus is gay. But she does it in a kind of homophobic way, but we can forgive it. But at the end of that conversation, we learn that Linus has a cat, Linus is gay, and he's definitely not depressed. Absolutely not.
He's definitely anxious.
Yes, at least anxious.
Yeah, there's no way he's not.
Yes. All right, so the next day, after no sleep, he goes to his meeting with extremely upper management, and they give him a special job, which, remember, his job is to review these orphanages and work with magical children. So his special job is to go spend 1 month on an island where there is a special orphanage. Okay. So he has to go evaluate this orphanage.
Does it have, like, a special name or something? Is it perhaps the house in the Cerulean Sea?
Oh, we'll get there. He's like, I have a cat. And they're like, leave your cat. Cats are solitary creatures. They'll be fine. Spoiler alert. He does not leave the cat. He brings the cat with him.
I should hope not. He should bring the cat with him.
Absolutely. The cat's his only friend. So this is also an extremely confidential thing. And apparently the kids at this house have pretty special powers compared to what we saw at the first orphanage with a girl who can levitate things and a kid with a tail. So extremely upper management tells him, your train leaves tomorrow.
Oh, great. How nice of them.
Yeah, I don't think he really has a choice to say no.
I guess not.
Yep. Next day, sleepless night, he gets on the train, and he arrives at the sea. It is cerulean, you may note.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. The sea is very blue. And there's a moment when Linus is like, oh my god, sun. It's been so long since I felt sunshine on my face.
Oh my god, it's not raining?
Yeah.
Wow.
He, like, left the city and emerged into paradise at the ocean.
What if that's, like, a result of, like, some other magical kid being an asshole? Like, you know what? I hate this place. I'm gonna make it rain there all day.
The city is just always raining because of one magic kid.
Or because of a lot of magic kids who are pissed off at bureaucracy.
Could be. So he arrives at the sea, he brought his cat, and he starts to look at the case files that extremely upper management gave him so that he is going into this prepared. So he has case files about all the kids that are at this orphanage and the orphanage director. And the first boy is the literal Antichrist.
Like, Hazelbub?
No, his name is Lucifer.
Oh, okay.
And apparently Linus is so shocked by this, he faints.
You know, I feel like that's a valid reaction to meeting the Antichrist.
Yes. Well, he doesn't meet him. He only reads a case file about the Antichrist.
Well, you know, I guess reading about the Antichrist could also make someone pass out, right? You know, that just shows magical prowess.
Could be. All right, so a little while later, a lady from the orphanage comes to pick him up, and she's like, "Why are you sleeping on the bench?" And he's like, nothing. And he starts having a panic attack about Lucy, the Antichrist. And she is an island sprite, so she is a magical adult. And she takes care of this island, right, where the house at the Cerulean Sea is, right, this orphanage. And as they drive through town, we start to see prejudice against magical people more distinctly, right? I guess the townspeople know that she is a little magical, and they're just kind of afraid of her. They guard their kids against her.
Her name is literally Lucifer. And
No, that's not Lucifer. Lucifer is one of the kids. This is just like a lady who works there.
Oh, I thought you said that Lucifer was the one who...
No, a lady from the orphanage.
Okay. So the lady from the orphanage is an island sprite then?
Yes.
Okay.
And one thing she says is like, give these kids a chance.
Well, yeah. You always
Right.
gotta.
And he's like, of course I will. That's my job. So he takes ferry. He arrives at the house. The cat runs off, and he's like, crap, cat, come back. In the garden, there's a gnome statue. Turns out that's a child. One of the kids who lives at this orphanage. Her name is Talia, and she's a gnome.
She probably brings good luck.
Yeah, that's her magic power. She's a gnome. They're looking for the cat, and then they meet another kid, Theodore, and he is a wyvern.
Also, like a full-on dragon boy.
Yes, he has wings. He's a wyvern. We meet a new kid, Fee. She is a forest sprite. She has fairy wings.
Okay. So is that different from the island sprite? Do they
Yes.
both have fairy wings?
The island sprite wasn't described to have fairy wings.
Okay, so maybe just like either she's hiding them or they're...
You know, it might be like, you know, like in Greek mythology, they have nymphs, like wood nymphs, cloud nymphs, water nymphs.
Yeah, but those don't like change if they have wings or not.
That's true. Either way, we're still looking. We meet another kid. His name is Sal. He has the cat. However, Linus scares Sal, and Sal is a shapeshifter, and he shapeshifts into a Pomeranian. He was scared, he became a dog. Adorable.
Can he turn into anything else?
I don't know, we've only seen him in Pomeranian form.
Oh, okay, that's kind of a shame.
Yeah. And then we meet the last kid besides Lucy, whose name is Chauncey, and he is a literal jelly blob.
A gelatinous cube!
Well, he does have a shape, like he has eye stalks.
So he's like a slug.
Yeah, did you ever watch Monsters vs. Aliens?
Of course.
Okay, do you know that, like, that blue guy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bob.
yeah, Bob. He looks like Bob. That's why I imagine him to look like. Again, this is a book.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's kind of just a blob of jelly.
If he has eye stalks, I'm imagining a snail. Like, Gary from SpongeBob, but without the shell.
Okay, it could be that. Linus has met all the kids, except Lucy. Which is great, because now Lucy jump scares Linus. And the orphanage director sends him off. He's like, Lucy, go away. Except nicely, because the orphanage director's name is Arthur, and Arthur is a very pretty man.
Oh, I love pretty men. Mm-hmm. Especially when they're introduced to our gay lead.
Yes. And Linus is like, we're going to be professional. You're going to call me Mr. Baker, because Linus's last name is Baker, and I will call you Mr. Parnassus.
God, they're so horny for
They're
each other.
so horny. Now, Arthur is really cool, and he also apparently speaks all of the kids' languages. Gnomish, dog, whatever the wyvern chirps are.
So I guess he's magical too?
We don't know.
If you're speaking dog... okay.
Very well could be. Because he was able, I guess when Sal, the Pomeranian, barked, he was like, ah, yes, Sal, you're right. And all the other kids seem to speak each other's languages as well, while Linus is the odd one out.
Oh, love that for him.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll gain the ability.
We hope so. We hope he can gain a little...
A little magic of his own, perhaps?
Yeah, in the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cute.
Mm-hmm. All right, so the last thing that happens is that Linus gets to the guest room, and he settles in, and then he goes to dinner with the kids. They've invited him. They're going to have a whole feast celebrating his arrival. And when he arrives, he's kind of nervous, but he finds Lucy and the lady, whose name I've forgotten. They're cooking together. There's music playing. It seems really nice and normal, and he has a moment that's just like, whoa, the Antichrist is just cooking.
So what did Lucifer do to the food?
Nothing, I don't think. They all sit at the table and they go around saying one thing that they learned that day, right? Even the adults do it. And it honestly seems like it's a nice supportive environment for these kids.
Okay.
And honestly, there's been a lot of interactions with Lucy, and he just kind of seems like a prankster. You know, he goes up to Linus and he's like, "Can I get you something to drink? Water? Orange juice? The blood of a baby? Anything."
Could he actually get the blood of a baby, though?
I don't know. He's never gone through on any of his threats yet.
I feel like if he's the Antichrist, that should be part of his power profile.
Well, I don't know, because his eyes definitely turn red, and he can, like, change his body shape a bit, but Arthur tends to be pretty, I don't want to say controlling, but, you know, he definitely is helping guide Lucy, because I think Lucy is pretty young, only 6 years old.
Well, he's got anxiety.
You think the kid has anxiety?
No, the main character.
No. This is Arthur, the orphanage director.
Oh, Arthur. Okay.
So Lucy is like, "You have to tell us something you learned today, or I'm going to send a locust plague on you." And Arthur is like, "Lucy, locust plague only under supervision." And Lucy apologizes.
You know, that's good. At least he's able to express himself sometimes.
Yes. So it seems to me like Lucy, he probably does have powers, whether his father actually is the devil or not. Who knows?
I mean, realistically, who are any of these kids' parents?
We
right?
don't know. It's really suspicious that they're all in the orphanage.
Yeah. It really is.
Yeah. All right, so that's all I've read so far. About a quarter of the book.
Okay.
I think that Arthur and Linus are gonna fall in love, and Arthur's going to teach Linus the meaning of happiness and parenting.
I think that Arthur is going to be an enemies to lovers situation. I think
Ooh.
Linus is going to slowly figure out that Arthur is, like, actually doing evil things to these kids or something like that.
No.
And then they're going to have to work through that.
Oh, see, I was thinking because Linus always is like super clinical with his job, right? He's very methodical, he loves the rules, and he's like, "No, I don't form attachments with the kids. My job is to observe." So that's why I was thinking Arthur might teach him the meaning of family.
Aww. No, I think there's evil. There has to be.
All right, we will find out and let you guys know. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Laura.
We are back. I've read chapter 7 through chapter 14, and we got some secrets.
Secrets, you say?
Yes, we got some spicy secrets that I don't know all the secrets. I don't know them all yet. So, where we left off, Lucy was just a little prankster.
Right.
And Linus had just arrived at that. So, over the next couple days, Linus chats with Arthur, and he learns a bit more about the kids. And Arthur challenges Linus, and he challenges his viewpoints on some of the kids, really. So, for example, they don't use the word Antichrist about Lucy.
Despite the fact that that's what's on his file?
Yes, but they don't use that word because we see that perceptions about these kids matters a lot more than what the kids are actually like. So, for example, Chauncey, Arthur thinks he might be part jellyfish, maybe part sea cucumber, but really people all his life have only told him that he's a monster, so he didn't know how to be anything other than that until he came to this island, and, you know, Arthur told him you can be whatever you want, and now he wants to be a bellhop.
Alright.
So, we learned a bit more about Sal, and this is his 12th home.
12?
Yeah.
Oh, that is really sad.
Mm-hmm. And the reason, you know, his power doesn't seem too severe, right? He can just turn himself into a dog, but actually he can turn other people into dogs too.
Oh.
And
okay.
I don't know if they can change back. And this happened once with a lady who hit him, and he changed her into a dog because that's the only way he knew how.
You know what? She deserved it. Though honestly, turning her into a dog that can attack you with sharp teeth feels like a bad move all in all.
Well, it is a Pomeranian.
Oh, you know, even so.
It's a little dog.
It'll still sting.
Yes, that's why Sal was so scared and everything when he first met Linus. He was like, "Oh no, you're gonna make me move again." It was really sad. So we learn more that Talia is specifically a female gnome, and apparently that's very rare, and her family died in a suspicious fire.
Oh.
Yeah. Sophie is just a very powerful forest sprite.
Forest, okay.
Yeah, Sophie is a powerful forest sprite, Miss Chapelwhite is the island sprite, and she helps her control her powers.
So is it implied that Miss Chapel is less powerful than Sophie?
I don't think she's more or less powerful, because also she's an island sprite while Fee is a forest sprite, so their powers are different, but I think Fee is particularly powerful for a child, so she might become more powerful than her at some point.
Oh, okay.
So Theodore the Wyvern, he just thinks differently. He has his little wyvern language, so we just don't really understand him. And back to Lucy, he probably is the child of the devil, but it's definitely more exaggeration and rumors about the notion of an antichrist that could affect him.
Wait, so it's implied that he's actually the child of the devil?
Yes, seems to be.
Like he was, what, he was just abandoned somewhere?
Yeah, we don't know as much about Lucy's past.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we also learned that they did used to separate all magical kids from their families, so kind of like, in American history, Native Americans, a lot of those children were taken and put into schools in order to assimilate with white culture, so really not good. And all adult magical people are registered with the government. And apparently some magical kids can be raised in their families, but, it's not looking great here.
No?
No.
So is the entire world just very prejudiced against these?
Yeah, against the magic people. And it's kind of interesting because a lot of magic people in worlds are often like heroes, right? Like superheroes. But in this world, we don't like magic people. We are very prejudiced against them, and we have to control them to make sure they don't hurt anyone.
I wonder if that stems from an event or something.
It could be. Overall, Arthur is just very defensive of his kids.
Understandably
He's,
so.
he really cares for them.
Especially with some of these, what was the kid's name who's on his 12th home?
That's Sal.
Sal.
Poor Sal, yeah.
That's terrible. I would be very protective of that child.
Yeah. So we see a few days, we see some lessons like math and just some normal life. Then one day, Miss Chapelwhite brings Linus to a beach where she had found a raft and a note from the village. And this is kind of a hate note, telling them to leave. Get out of here, you don't belong here!
On the island that they are specifically supposed to be on?
They don't even like them being that close.
Oh, get over it, right?
Yeah, and this is not the first note like this. Yeah, so Miss Chapelwood is also very protective of her island and those kids. And Linus sends a note back. We don't see what the note says, but supposedly it's something like, screw you! Because Linus is also being kind of protective of them. So one weekend, Linus is invited to Lucy and Arthur's one-on-one. He's nervous, he reflects on religion, he's still very into the notion of the Antichrist. But, it seems like a pretty normal conversation. For example, Lucy says, I shouldn't kill wild animals because only serial killers do that, and I shouldn't play with the dead ones I find because I'll smell bad. And it's wrong. Lead with that next time, Lucy.
I mean, he's right, serial killers do that.
Yeah.
I've listened to enough podcasts about that to know.
Indeed. Right, so Arthur, he seems like he's teaching Lucy about morality a bit, like Chidi in The Good Place, trying to help him be a good person, right? And learn that he doesn't have to be the devil. He can be whoever he wants. So Lucy lives in a room that is attached to Arthur's. It seems like he just needs a lot of guidance.
Oh, he needs someone over his shoulder 24/7?
Yeah, he really needs, it might seem like a little overbearing helicopter parenty, but Lucy really, he's young and he is powerful, and he needs help figuring out how and when to use those powers. Mm-hmm. So he invites Linus in to see the room, because Linus has to see all the rooms to make sure the kids are safe and whatever.
Right.
And he has a lot of the same records as Linus. So Lucy specifically says he likes music from dead singers. He likes that they're dead.
Well, to be fair, a lot of really good singers are already dead. So
yes. I think Linus pointed that out, though. He's like, well, they just die. That's what happens to people.
That is just what happens to people.
Yeah, so Linus and Lucy share a taste in music. Oh, also, Arthur and Linus are flirting.
Yeah?
Yeah, just throughout all of this, they're flirting. Linus might not realize it, but they're flirting. Alright, so Linus goes into town to mail his report. He's there with Miss Chapelwhite, and he claps back at the postal worker for being prejudiced. Right? He's like, I don't like all those kids. They shouldn't be here. They're not right. And we're like, shut up. They're literally just living their lives.
They're literally children.
Yeah. There is a letter for Linus from the office. just like reminder for his reports. Every time he sends off a weekly report at the post office, there's often a letter for him as well. So he goes shopping while they're in town because they need groceries. And it seems like the prices of stuff in town has increased for our little magical group. So poor Miss Chapelwhite, who we now call Zoe, she is asked to be called Zoe from Linus, so we're on a first name basis now. She's like, well, you know how it is.
So are the magical people just charged more because they're magical people?
Yep.
It's like the pink tax.
Yes, but for magic people. We're back at the house, and we're gonna have a monthly island adventure. Zoe even brought Linus proper clothes, and he's like, wow, I don't want to wear that. But he goes along with it. He puts on his, I don't know, fatigues or something. He bravely takes off his tie. And while they're adventuring, it's Lucy's turn to lead the adventure. And they're just, romping around the forest, really. And Arthur goes ahead to check something out, and he doesn't come back! Oh no! So Linus is just here with the kids, and they're all debating what to do, because they think there's a cannibal up ahead. And...
hang on, why do they think there's a cannibal up ahead? Just because someone didn't come back?
They're having an adventure.
Their kids?
Yeah, their kids having an adventure.
Yeah.
So they volunteer Linus to lead the way, because they're like, you're really round. They'll eat you first. It's kind of funny. They're all kind of digging at each other, right? So Lucy's like, yeah, Linus, you'll be a good snack. You'll be a good meal for them, and then they won't eat us.
You know what's really funny about that is in nature, that's often the opposite.
Well, yeah, and then Linus claps back. He's like, well, if they already ate Arthur, maybe they'll be too full for me, and they'll just want a small snack instead. Ooh. It's kind of cute. Yeah. But anyway, they don't find cannibals. They find Zoe's house. And Linus is surprised because sprites are known to be very protective of their spaces. And she invites all the kids in, and she even invites Linus in, and he was a little surprised at that, but they all have a grand lunch after adventuring. They have a really nice time. And we can really see Linus starting to care for these kids. Mm-hmm.
So Zoe's the cannibal then?
Well, no, there was no cannibal. Come on.
Fine.
Alright, so it's week 2 now. Linus is having more one-on-ones with the kids. So, he has a really touching conversation with Sal, and just really he's meeting him where he's at and saying just all sorts of really sad things. So Sal, had bounced around from so many homes. When he lets Linus into his room, he doesn't have anything up in his room because
he's afraid
he's going to have to leave again.
Yeah. And
all he has a typewriter in his closet, and apparently he likes to write. But, he was, too scared to write in his room. He needed a smaller space. And Linus was really sweet about that. He was like, yeah, well, that's okay. But, your room, it's not that much bigger. And, there's a nice window here. And we can see the town from afar. But they can't see you. And he was just really sweet about meeting Sal where he's at and slightly encouraging him to slowly step a half step out of his comfort zone.
Yeah, branch out a little bit.
Branch out. And it was just really sweet. And, it makes you reflect on how you really need social workers who care and how that's really difficult. Alright, so later that night, Arthur visits Linus and gives him a gift, which was apparently Lucy's idea, and now Linus is like, uh-oh. But it's a portable record player and a record that Lucy picked out specifically for him.
Aww.
Yeah, and it's a really sweet gift because, they bonded over music. And Linus is like, oh my, I always wanted to have one of these. How exciting.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not the kind of guy to spend a lot on himself.
He's going to start being a vinyl collector. Probably a really annoying one, too.
Absolutely. Arthur does specifically mention Sal and how he kept the typewriter out, and it seems like he's a little happier, yeah. They play the record, and it's all love songs.
Why does Lucy give him all love songs?
Because Lucy knows that Arthur and Linus are flirting.
And are so gay for each other.
They're so gay for each other.
Wait, so is this confirming that Satan has something to do with homosexuality? That Lucy's gaydar is, perfect?
Oh my god. I don't know. Well, Arthur asks him to dance.
Okay.
Linus declines.
Aww.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. Linus is like, oh, I have 2 left feet, and, he's still in denial because he's also, he's on a job, he's not supposed to form any close connections. Yeah, our poor boy. So,
let's reflect on Arthur a little bit. Maybe he is a little suspicious. He knew about the raft and the letter, and there have been a couple times when people are like, there's not much that goes on this island that Arthur doesn't know about. And I don't think he has security cameras all over the place.
So do you think he's implied to be magical as well?
I don't know. After he left the house, there was a flash of golden light that we don't know the source of.
I would bet you anything he's got something going on.
Okay.
I'm wondering if he just has, like another magical kid somewhere who he has to hide away for some reason.
Ooh. That's legal. Not very legal at all.
Yeah.
In this world, everyone has to be registered.
Yeah, that's kind of the point, right?
Mm-hmm. It is actually kind of a deal. Like, they note that Zoe isn't registered, but there's not much they can do about that because she's, like, very powerful on her island and she doesn't want to leave there, and she's just like, well, screw you all.
Yeah, this is my island.
Alright, so it's been a week. Linus visits town again with Zoe to mail his next report to extremely upper management. He gets another letter back requesting more details on Arthur.
Ooh, that's interesting. What does extremely upper management know about Arthur?
They aren't telling Linus much about Arthur.
Okay. He's in theory employed by them too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so...
Yeah. Well, they're just not telling Linus much about him. Alright, so that night, Lucy has a nightmare, which causes an earthquake.
Oh, I see.
So everyone's immediately very defensive of him because they know that causing an earthquake is kind of dangerous and Linus might recommend something bad.
But also, he just had a nightmare.
Yeah, and it's kind of implied that he has intense nightmares because he has intense sources to draw upon for his nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's really sad. But actually, Linus helps calm him down. So, and Arthur and Linus both help calm him down. It's really sweet, and then they hold hands.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Uh-huh. So, the other thing was that in this world, even when you are magical and registered, there's really not a lot that you can do, right? So, Linus is talking about how there's, like, a magical lawyer and a magical doctor that he can think of. He's like, yeah, you have options. But Arthur or Zoe challenge him. They're like, really? He's like, uh-huh. He's like, oh, well, the law that lawyer practice, it's only for magical people who are fighting registration. And the doctor only heals magical people. So, like, even if they have a profession, they're still very segregated.
Well, also, it's like 2 examples out of how many magical people?
Well, yeah. Linus, he doesn't know everyone.
Like, sometimes there can be exceptions.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so they decide to go on an outing to town, because during the earthquake, Lucy broke some of his records, and he was really sad about that. Right, they just, fell off his wall and they broke. So, Arthur's like, well, there's a record shop in town. We could go there, and Lucy, that cheered Lucy up. And, a few days prior, Linus had said, maybe, keeping the children on the island, it's pretty isolationist, and it's really good for them to have interactions with real people. But, those real people are also very scared of him. There's also apparently hush money involved. Like, the people in town are paid not to talk about the kids on the island.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I mean, people really should just get used to others, right? That's the whole...
Mm-hmm.
It's the whole deal with segregation. If you just, let people commingle, they'll eventually realize, oh, you're not really that different.
And that is exactly what happens. Wow. Let's get into it. Alright, so, they're in town. The kids are paired in twos, and each one is paired with an adult. So Linus is paired with Talia and Lucy. And their first stop is a garden shop, where Talia is so excited. She has, a really in-depth conversation with the garden shop lady, who was, a little taken aback at first, but, and a little hesitant. But once Talia really started talking about her garden, because she has a beautiful garden back at the house, the garden lady is just like, oh, yeah, yo, these are the tools you want. They talk for a long time. Talia gets a bunch of tools, and Linus buys them for her.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Were there any garden gnome statues in the garden store?
That was not mentioned.
Ah. I see.
Yeah, I'm sorry to disappoint you. So, next they head to the record shop, and the owner, who is a stoner, loves Lucy. All about him.
That makes sense. Stoners love the devil.
Exactly. So, they go to the back to look at the records, and another employee is threatening Lucy with a cross and, like, trying to exorcise him, maybe? And then Lucy knocks him out.
Why? How? Just magic?
Yeah, maybe he, like, throws him against a wall.
Oh, I see.
Probably magically. We didn't actually see this. Linus was in the other room, but we heard it, and the guy was knocked out.
Yeah.
Which, you know, again, Lucy is 6 years old, and this is a grown man, so it probably was magical in some way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how childish are you to go and threaten a small child with a cross?
Uh-huh.
The power of Christ compels you to a small child.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, but the stoner guy is apparently the owner and says, wow, that guy's so fired. He just attacked a child, and he even gives Lucy the records that he wanted for free.
Aww.
Yeah, there's some nice people here.
Yeah, okay.
Alright, so next they're all going for ice cream, but the guy at the ice cream shop is a total tool, and he's, like, gonna kick them out. He yells at them, he scares Sal. Sal turns into a dog, because he's scared. And, you know, he's, like, really yelling at them. He's like, I have the right to refuse service to anyone. You freaks, get out of my shop. I'm not serving you.
Is that actually true? Does he actually have the right to refuse service to people?
I mean, yeah, I guess. And, Arthur gets really mad. And he becomes, like, hot. Like, physically hot.
To the touch?
Yeah. And...
How does Linus notice this? Are they holding hands?
Well, he touches his face, and also it just, like, gets warmer in there.
Okay.
But it's actually, at one point, Arthur's like, there's nothing to be afraid of, they're just children. And the guy's like, I'm not afraid of those kids, those demons. And Arthur's like, yeah, you should be afraid of me!
Ooh.
I know, and Linus is like, whoa, dude, chill. And Linus tells Arthur very sweetly, he's like, you need to calm down. This moment will stay with these kids for a long time with what you do here, so we cannot react negatively and violently. We have to be better than them. So that's when Linus is, like, holding Arthur's face.
Oh, okay.
And he notices he's, like, hot. But then Arthur appears to calm down. But then, the lady from the garden shop comes in.
Yeah?
And this is really funny because the ice cream guy is like, these guys were refusing to leave. And the lady from the garden shop is like, well, they're not holding any ice cream.
Yeah.
Of course they don't want to leave. They want ice cream. And the guy's like, I can refuse anyone. And she's like, get out. And it turns out she's the mayor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she's chill. It turns out Arthur grew up in this town. So she already knew Arthur.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And they all get ice cream. Linus takes Sal to the bathroom. Not in a weird way. He's just like, hey, Sal, it's okay. You know, if you want to change back into a human, here are your clothes. We all love you. It's okay. And, you know, he leaves Sal in the bathroom alone.
Yeah, so he can sort his stuff out.
Yeah, so Sal comes back. You know, he's a little sad, but the lady gives him 3 scoops of ice cream.
Nice.
Everyone else only got 2.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
What flavors did he choose?
I don't know what he got, but Arthur and Linus both got cherry.
Very nice.
Yeah, because that was Arthur's favorite flavor, and Linus is like, I also want cherry.
Cherry is a very good flavor.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah. So, the mayor's also talking to Linus for a bit because she had been interested in visiting the island to see Talia's garden because they'd been talking about it for a long time, and she's like, oh, I'd love to see it. And she says, oh, maybe the week after next, I'll come see it. And Linus is like, oh, well, I won't be there because I have to go home for my assignment. And the mayor really scolds him for lying to himself. She's like, you obviously care about these kids. Come on.
Yeah.
And he's like, I have to remain impartial. I'm on assignment. Uh-huh.
Sure, Linus.
Sure, Linus. Alright, so, eventful day, but overall it ended positively. So Linus drops off his 3rd report at the post office. He has 1 week left to go. There's another letter from the boss with a case file on Arthur.
Interesting.
Which is supposedly probably has more detail than the original case file Linus got on Arthur. And there's even a warning about him, saying that he is not what he seems. And they include a key to a suspicious cellar.
That's very interesting.
And that's all I've read.
I wonder if part of the illusion here is that maybe Arthur is Lucy's father?
I've been wondering that too, because he's definitely very protective of all the kids.
Yeah, and Lucy hasn't talked about his backstory at all.
I mean, There was one point in town where Lucy was talking about his real dad being... I guess he doesn't say that he is the devil specifically, but Lucy does say, oh yeah, my dad, he knows a lot of personal defense lawyers, because he's talking to the stoner whose dad wants him to become a personal defense lawyer, and he's like, dude, I just want to run my record shop. And Lucy's like, yeah, you should definitely run the record shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a joke, all lawyers go to hell.
Well, maybe Arthur is the devil himself.
That would certainly be something.
Maybe he was getting all hot and he's just like covering the fact that he has red skin with makeup.
Ooh, that could be exciting. I don't know. I just really want Linus to quit his job and live happily ever after at this island.
Yeah.
I don't know how possible it is, given this world and how prejudiced everyone is, and how much it seems like extremely upper management is real suspicious of this island and Arthur and everything.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if extremely upper management just sent Linus there to figure stuff out about Arthur.
Yeah, because it does also seem unusual that he would be there for a whole month. Like, if he's just, investigating a normal orphanage, I don't think he's usually there for so long.
Yeah, I feel like 2 weeks would usually be, like, good enough, or something like that.
Yeah, so I don't know where this is going.
Guess we'll find out.
We'll have to find out, won't we?
Yeah.
Alright, welcome back, Tom. I believe where we last left off is Linus got a file about Arthur.
Yes, that's right. He got a file on the devil.
Yeah. No, Arthur's not the devil.
Yeah, he is.
Okay,
That's my headcanon.
that's your final answer? Arthur's the devil? Okay.
Arthur's the devil. Yeah.
Alright. So, Linus tries to ignore the file, but he has anxiety. So, he does not ignore it. And, 3 lines down in the file, it says, species of magical creature. And then we cut to dinner.
Oh, great.
Right? So, Linus is musing, and apparently this is some sort of government experiment, having a magic teacher for your magic kids.
Okay.
Maybe one that won't abuse your magic kids. Ooh.
So it is sanctioned, then?
Yes.
Okay. It just was on the DL.
Yes. Well, obviously, the government knows that, Arthur is the head of this orphanage, and they have the file on him, so they know about Arthur.
Yeah. I mean, it's on the DL from the public.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So, also in this letter, there was a key to the cellar, right? Mm-hmm. Now, there's a cellar. It's not connected to the house.
Yeah, and it's the only room that's locked, right?
Yes, it is locked. And it has scorch marks. And apparently this makes sense in Linus's head, considering what he knows.
About the species?
Yeah, what we don't know.
Great.
So, that night, he can't sleep, so he goes in. There's nothing in the cellar except flame retardant and tick marks.
Tick marks?
Yeah.
Like...
Jump scare! Arthur's here.
You did a really bad job at that.
No, I didn't. That was great. Well, jump scare. Arthur's here. Arthur is a phoenix.
Oh, okay.
This is apparently very rare, and he is perhaps the last of his kind, even.
That's so unfortunate for him.
As a child, Arthur's orphanage director, he was at this house, was very mean. And one day, Arthur tried to send a letter to the government for help, being like, hey, our orphanage director is really mean. Please help. Please send help. But he was caught, and he was put/trapped in this cellar.
Oh.
And the orphanage director would have a kid bring him food and change out his little poop bucket, because he knew that Arthur wouldn't, hurt the kid to try to get out.
Oh, okay.
And he was in there for 6 months.
Oh. Well, that's
horrifying.
Yeah. That's, I think, worse than most prisons.
Well, yeah, he was in total isolation in the dark.
Yeah. Worse than most prisons.
Yeah, there was a line in there where he says, with, nothing, no cues, time slips away. He said he thought it was only a few weeks.
I think I was listening to a different podcast where they talked about someone who literally imprisoned their daughter like that. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this was when I messaged you the other day when I was reading in bed.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, this was a sad chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sad.
No wonder you were so quiet and moody.
Yeah. So, next Arthur shows Linus's phoenix form, which isn't a bird. it is kind of like a bird overlap of his human form. So wings of fire form, and there's a bird head overlap. I kind of picture it kind of like an Egyptian god.
But you can see through the Egyptian god head and see his
Okay,
face.
well, not actually like an Egyptian god. Do you remember those books by Rick Riordan?
Of course I remember that series.
The Red Pyramid.
My favorite series of Rick Riordan.
Well, when those kids were able to use their Egyptian god powers, it was like Horus was like a form behind him.
Not necessarily behind him. He was like the avatar. He like sat in the center of Horus's chest as he would.
Okay, maybe it is different.
Yeah.
Well, in his form, it is described as he has like a beautiful wingspan of fire wings, and then there's like a phoenix head up there somewhere.
Oh, okay.
But he's like still a human.
So you can see his human face, just like I described earlier.
Yeah.
Like transparent, you can see it through the Egyptian godhead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We're on the same page.
Yeah. All right. So Arthur said he returned, right? Because this is the same house that he was in prison and had a terrible childhood in, right? And he said he specifically returned to this orphanage to turn his hell into something better and make it something better for these extreme and dangerous magical kids like he was. Returning to this island was a way for him to get closure.
Yeah, but also, oh, my bleeding heart.
My bleeding heart, Arthur.
Oh, my goodness,
Arthur. Oh my god, yeah. Arthur then kind of confesses his love.
Wait, what?
For Linus.
Oh
They're
my
in
God.
love.
They've been flirting so much. Linus has been completely oblivious.
He's so
too.
oblivious. In fact, Linus even says, "But I'm just me." And Arthur says, "And what a lovely person you are."
Oh, and then they kiss?
No, they don't kiss.
Damn.
But, kind of like the moral of this conversation between the two is that life isn't fair, but you still need to have hope. Right. Linus thinks Arthur should tell the kids, which is against the government's rules. They specifically said, you're not allowed to tell the kids that you're a magical phoenix. And Linus is like, well, you have to tell them. It's like, they deserve to know.
Yeah.
But
they do.
And Linus says he still needs to go back to the government. Like, he won't stay. He needs to go back so that he can help them from the government.
Oh.
Like, make rules.
Okay.
And then Arthur said.
Yeah, well, of course he is.
Oh, yeah.
They don't get to kiss now.
They don't kiss, yeah. So the next few days are kind of bummy. This is Linus's last week. We see a couple more interactions between Linus and the kids. Theodore, the wyvern, shows Linus his hoard, which they are apparently very secretive over.
Okay.
And it's just a bunch of treasures and keepsakes from people in the house.
Okay, so little, like, trinkets from people who were there previously.
Yeah, like, this whole time Linus has been giving him buttons. And he has a huge button collection. It's adorable. He has, like, a little piece of poetry from Sal. He has one of Lucy's broken records. It's, like, so cute.
Aw, that is cute.
All right.
I've always loved the concept of dragons that hoard things that aren't just gold.
Yeah. They hoard personal treasures.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, so now we are making dinner. Oh, and by the way, Zoe does have wings. I remember we talked about this before, because, like, she wasn't described to have wings when she was in incognito mode.
Yeah.
All sprites apparently have wings, and they can hide them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yes.
I was wondering about the lore of this world.
Yes. You don't get a lot of detail about the lore. There's just magical species.
That makes me so upset. I need lore.
That was one thing I was thinking about with the lore, is that, because there seems to be a range. There's a range of, like, complete species, right? Like, there's a gnome. That's a completely different species. But we also see a glimpse of, perhaps, humans with magical powers, like the girl from the beginning who can levitate things.
Or Arthur himself as a phoenix, or Sal, who can not only turn himself into a dog, but also other people into a dog.
Yeah, so, like, it's kind of, like, vague on, like, what is actually a species. Like, can they crossbreed? Like, not to be weird, but, like...
Yeah, well, can magical children have magical children of their own?
Yes, it is genetic. But, like, obviously there's some species, like the wyvern. He's a literal wyvern.
Yeah.
I wouldn't suspect there could be a wyvern-human little hybrid. But, maybe, like, Arthur could, get on it with a woman, which he never would because he loves Linus.
Uh-huh. And
And they could have, like, a child that is human, or maybe phoenix. But, like, I don't know. It's kind of vague on what the species lines are.
Okay.
Alright, so they're making dinner, and Arthur and Zoe freak out. And because they both have, like, extrasensory... They can, like, tell what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And the villagers are gathering on the mainland.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
So is that kind of like how animals can sense an earthquake?
Maybe. I mean, I suspect that Zoe, she can, like, sense all the water around her island and her island because it's her island. I don't really know how Arthur, because he's just Phoenix. Like, he has firepower.
He can hear better. I don't know.
Maybe. So, Arthur and Linus go to chat with them. Zoe stays to protect the kids. Zoe forms a salt bridge for them to drive over, so they can drive over the ocean. She forms a bridge out of salt.
So she can separate the salt from the water.
Yeah, and make a bridge that's stable enough for them to drive over.
Wow.
Uh-huh. Usually they just take the ferry back and forth, you know, supporting the local economy.
Yeah, but you gotta be quick.
You gotta be quick when there's a riot happening.
Wait, a riot?
Well, this is suspicious. There's only about 10 people there, so maybe it's not a huge riot, but the mayor is trying to calm them down, and she's like, you go home, you idiots! We have the exorcist guy, the ice cream guy, the mail guy, all people that we've seen interactions with being, like, kind of discriminatory and mean. Linus is, like, tearing into them. He's like, what was gonna happen once you got to the island? Were you going to kill them? And they're like, And then it's like, what? Also, how are you supposed to get rid of an entire island? They're like, So,
Mob mentality.
yeah, so Linus is trying to use logic on them. And then someone throws a rock.
Oh no. He's doomed.
Yeah, Arthur gets pissed. And he, goes Phoenix form and caught the rock.
Ooh.
So Arthur is like...
Linus is like, my boyfriend's got me.
Yes, Linus calms Arthur down. But Arthur is like, attempting to harm me and mine is a bad idea. And Linus blushes.
Ooh.
Because he's Arthur's.
Yes, he is.
It's so cute. Arthur says, this is our home, bruh. We're literally just living here, chill. Yeah. The mayor threatens the villagers legally. She's like, magical kids have legal protections. If you had hurt anyone, I would have come after you legally and locked you all up. Right, so.
Yeah.
Coming at them from all sides. And they disperse. Alright, it is Linus's last day on the island.
Oh no.
By the way, Linus can now understand the kids' languages.
Just suddenly.
I think it's been gradual.
He probably...
It's only been 1 month, but, like, he can understand Talia's gnomish, and he can understand the wyvern chirps.
Oh, okay. Well, good for him.
It's implied that it's more like a vibe.
Okay.
I don't know, gnomish feels like a language, but it's implied that the wyvern chirps are kind of vibey.
Okay. So he's just like...
He's like, yeah, I get what you mean by that chirp.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's a displeased chirp.
Yeah. Or like, oh, that was a question chirp. I understand what you're questioning me on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so it's the last day and they go on another adventure. The adventure is kind of glossed over. I'm sure there's cannibals, dragons, all sorts of fun things in the forest. With the power of imagination.
And Lucifer.
Uh-huh. And it ends with a going away party at Zoe's house.
Aww.
And Lucy says, there wasn't any treasure. It was just a ruse to get you here for your surprise going away party. And Linus replies, so the real treasure is the friendships we made along the way? And Lucy's like, I hate you.
Yeah, I also hate you, Linus.
Linus already made that joke once in this book.
Linus, why'd you have to make it twice?
It's so funny.
Ugh.
Okay, Arthur and Linus dance at the party.
Like a slow dance.
Uh-huh. Because remember, Arthur had invited Linus to dance once before, and Linus was too nervous to, but they dance.
It's like, I have 2 left feet.
Well, he said that again, but Arthur was like, I highly doubt that. Come dance, darling. He didn't say darling.
Oh.
It was implied.
Okay.
Alright, so everyone's sad, and then Arthur asks Linus to stay. And he declines!
Yeah, he has to.
I know, it's so sad. And then Zoe gives Linus a picture of them all together. Like all the kids and Linus and Arthur. And it's so sad. Alright, so Linus goes home. He still has a nosy neighbor. She's still annoying. And the next day, after the weekend, he meets with extremely upper management. And he goes off on them. He's so pissed.
Oh, what's he pissed about?
Just everything. He's like, all you're interested in Lucy and the concept of him being the Antichrist, when really, he's just a kid.
Yeah, he just
And,
has...
like, all of us have the potential for evil. And, like, yeah, maybe he could, like, you know, kill us all in a hellfire, but he's not going to. He's just a good kid. And then he goes off on how they don't even know who the other kids are. All they care about is Lucy and Arthur. And they're like, they are people too. Like, oh my god. And extremely upper management is kind of annoyed. But...
Oh no.
Yeah, we don't really care. Overall, Linus, you know, he does his recommendation, which is like, I think this orphanage should stay open because, and you know, having a magical teacher for your magical kids is good because it's actually like a home and no one hates magical kids there.
Yeah.
Oh.
They don't have any predispositions.
Yeah. So they have to wait now for extremely upper management to make their decision about if the orphanage should stay open or not. So 1 month passes. The city's depressing, but they agree. They let the orphanage stay open.
Well, that's good.
Yay! During this time, Linus has been stealing case files, smuggling them out.
Huh?
Who knows?
Why?
I don't know. But Linus spontaneously quits his job and goes back to the island.
Oh, so he stole case files, probably the most dangerous ones, and then is like, I'm going to be their dad now, with my gay husband.
Just you wait. So he's been stealing files, and as soon as the orphanage is allowed to stay open officially, he quits and goes back to the island. He's very nervous about it, and the children, once he gets back there, it kind of reminds me of The Sound of Music when Maria von Trapp comes back after going back to the monastery for a little bit. Mm-hmm. They're all just like sad without her, and then she comes back and they're so happy.
Yeah.
But these kids, they give him a hard time about it, and they all like set a condition. Like Talia says he has to help with his gardening, you know, stuff like that. Lucy said he has to like listen to music with him.
Yeah, he's got to make it up.
Yeah. So, but they agree to let him stay, and then they go inside to spy on him and Arthur's reunion.
Oh.
They're supposed to go inside to cook dinner, but they're very obviously spying, and they know that they're spying. Mm-hmm. But it's okay. And as they go, Lucy is literally like, just kiss already!
Did they, finally?
Yes, they kiss.
Yay!
Yay!
They did it.
And that's the end of the book. However, we have an epilogue.
That's nice.
It's a wonderful epilogue.
Okay.
1 year later. Mayor Helen, she has a name now because I've decided, Helen, visits the island.
Like...
She had a name the whole time, I just hadn't told you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, her name is Helen. She visits the island. Everyone is happy and healthy, and apparently Linus hasn't slept in the guest house since Christmas.
Ooh.
And sometimes Linus and Arthur have sleepovers at Zoe's house.
Wait.
I don't think Zoe's there.
What? Why would they have to go there?
So they can have private romantic time, Tom, away from the children.
Oh, so they can be loud. Got it.
God. But this is, like, told to Helen by one of the kids who, like, it's, you know, it's clearly gone over their head. Mm. It's kind of funny. Alright, so remember those files Linus stole?
Yeah.
Linus, the whistleblower.
Okay.
He took files that were specifically about poorly treated kids, and he exposed them all and did, like, a bunch of, like, interviews and stuff, which resulted in extremely upper management all being fired/retired.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a rather happy ending.
Yeah, the power of small positive changes, honestly. Mm-hmm. And Arthur's even apparently going to testify about his poor experience. Because part of the reason extremely upper management let him do this, like have an orphanage, because this was like his request, is because they kind of wanted to keep him quiet about, you know, being imprisoned in a cellar for 6 months by their program.
Yeah, which is literally something that is talked about in serial killer podcasts.
Yeah, and it's like way against like humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's going to testify about his poor experiences, and we're going to hope for small positive changes. One of the lessons in this book is that, you know, change comes from, like, individuals.
Okay.
And then it grows and grows, right?
Yeah.
So.
I mean, change does snowball.
Yeah. So, Helen, the reason she's visiting the island unannounced, even though she's always welcome, has a new kid for them.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. It is an undocumented Yeti boy.
Undocumented Yeti boy.
Mm-hmm. And they're going to renovate the cellar to make it a nice cold room for him.
Aww.
So it's like the final piece of Arthur's closure. Yeah. It's like he was able to come back and live here and make it a happy place for children. But he still hadn't touched the cellar, probably because it was very painful. But now they're going to convert it into a happy place.
Yeah, into a place where someone can be comfortable.
Yeah, because, you know, as a Yeti, he would be most comfortable in the cold. And they live on, like, a tropical island.
Yeah. Do you think he has, like, big feet?
I don't know. I think we'll find out in the next book, though.
Ooh, the next book. Okay.
Yes. So, next we find out that Arthur and Linus are petitioning to adopt the kids.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh my god.
They want to be parents.
They're gonna be daddies together.
Yeah.
So cute. And one more thing. Okay. Zoe and Helen are dating.
Oh, that's nice.
The mayor and the island sprite.
Even more gayness.
Even more gay. We love it so much.
Okay.
And that's the end of the book.
Yeah.
Wasn't it adorable?
Yeah, it was very nice. I still want more lore, though. Maybe that's because I'm fresh off a Sanderson binge.
There's no more lore to be had.
I need more.
This is cozy fantasy. There's no lore to be had.
I need the lore. I need the deep lore.
You know, speaking of cozy fantasy, I don't know how much I would describe this as being a particularly cozy book.
Yeah, you know, I was kind of thinking about how incredibly messed up it is that Arthur got imprisoned for 6 straight months.
Yeah, like, I guess it's a cozy fantasy in the sense that the world isn't ending. It's a smaller scale plot.
Yeah.
But this was a very emotionally driven book, an emotionally tough book. It's about, you know, extreme discrimination, segregation, children being abused. Mm. Like, this is a heavy book. I mean, it was amazing, and, you know, it is broken up by a ton of, like, dry humor from Linus, and very, very adorable moments with the kids where he just is bonding with them and being a dad.
And learning that the real treasure is the friends we made along the way. I'm gonna go off myself now.
Yeah, I think there's nothing more to say about this book. That's it.
Well, we hope you enjoyed.
See you next time.